tell us a little bit about your background, anything we have missed here that you'd like to add to your bio.
Absolutely. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate the intro there. Yeah, I've been on this real estate investing journey for going on 17 years now, I think. I graduated with an electrical engineering degree at a Florida International University and went to work for UPS in their engineering department, but really that wasn't my long-term plan. During college, I already knew I didn't want to be an engineer. I wanted to start my own company. I wasn't sure what exactly, but I got really interested in real estate investing and started looking more into it. So while I was working that engineering job, I was also investing on the side, and then finally started closing enough deals where I quit my W-2. So that was about roughly 17 years ago. And since then, it's been a journey. I've started in the single family space and did a ton of fix and flips, and I've done some seller finance. I've done ground up, I had a smaller rental portfolio. And then was about 6 years ago, I got introduced to large multifamily syndications. And I fell in love with it instantly, right? It was,
yes.
Right off the bat, closing one deal, I already had that economy of scales that had taken me years to build, doing the smaller multi and the single family. So I put all my focus towards it, went all in, sold whatever single family and smaller units I had. And like you mentioned, since then we've transacted on quite a bit of deals, really focused on continuing to grow that portfolio, provide good deals for our investors to invest in. And that's it, man.
No, that's just awesome, man. That is beautiful in terms of, you in 6 years has accomplished just so much. It just shows that, it is possible, right? And guys like you are leading the way and definitely taking the charge in terms of, showing how it can be done. Myself too was in the single family space, and, coming over to the multifamily space is kind of newer for me too, just 3 years in. And, it's a wonderful thing to be here. But I'm intrigued because you said you went to school for engineering and you end up in real estate. Of course, I'm similar in terms of I was thinking medicine and then I end up in real estate too. But what was your influence at first to get into engineering? Was it something of your desire, or you think you were kind of pushing that direction?
It really wasn't a desire, other than the fact that I've always been really good with numbers. So that part came easy to me. So engineering's got a lot of numbers, so that's the path I went down, but there wasn't really a strong desire to be an engineer.
So basically, you moved from single family space to multifamily. Would you just make a comparison between how you were doing in single family and when you moved into multifamily? How was the scalability and how fast you could grow? For our audience, we would like to kind of get that glimpse. You were doing this much in pre-multifamily and after multifamily. This was kind of a eye-opening thing for you. Can you do some comparison?
For sure. So, okay, leading up to going into large multifamily, I had one point built up, I can't remember exactly how many units, let's say maybe 50 units or so, and it was kind of spread out between small multi and single family. And it was a ton of work. Like with that, I was doing me and my team were doing a lot of the management side of it. I didn't have a third party property manager. There was no staff on site, obviously. So it was a lot of work. There was times where we would have to go collect the rents and do this and do that. So I sold that off as the market continued to heat up. I sold all those and I started focusing on mainly just fix and flips. So we were adding second stories to houses. We were completely gutting them and renovating them. And I love doing that. I love transforming a property. But at the scale, so at the top, we're probably maybe doing 50 of those a year or so, plus wholesaling another 100 plus properties. So it was very transactional. I mean, you know, closing after closing after closing, and then building out the construction team and checking on everything. I mean, I was running around with my head cut off, and, you know, adding team members, but still, it wasn't. I felt like I ran into a brick wall. Like, how can I possibly scale this more than I am already? And then I found multifamily syndications and taking down, you know, 100 plus units, which the first one was actually only 37 units. And I learned I learned from that one a lot, because one, we still had to be more hands-on at that point. We didn't have enough to have the proper staff on site with 37 units. So from there, we decided we weren't going to do anything less than 100 units. We ended up doing a 216 unit right after that, then 100, right under 200 units. And then we jumped over to a 1,200 unit portfolio, and from there did an 850 unit property. And, you know, now our deals are maybe on average 300 or so units. That's kind of the sweet spot we like. And it just makes the management part of it a lot easier. It allows you to, you know, take down these big deals and have the on-site team to where you're more managing them versus actually managing the property, and allows you to scale faster.
Yeah, that is awesome. I mean, what you are saying is, you know, so many years worth of work, which took you to maybe 50, 60 units or 100 units in total. But then suddenly, after jumping into multifamily, you were even able to acquire portfolio worth 1,200 units at one point, and the sweet spot is 300